Pleased to be joined here at SB Nation by the one and only, the dashing, the debonair. He had a year last year better than most humans on the face of the planet. It is PGA Tour superstar Ben Griffin. Ben, thank you so much for taking the time to join us.
Absolutely. Happy to hop on.
I know a lot of people talk to you about your social media, and I want to start with that, but in a way that I don't think you're expecting, because that's kind of my job. Are you aware of what you were tweeting about late in 2023, 2 years ago?
Late in 23, maybe
you had multiple tweets about this. Or something you were really passionate about, and it was a PGA Tour rules change. So I don't know if that's a clue.
Maybe it was about, I think it might have been about Q School.
Not
qualifying.
Quite.
No.
So the first bit of it was John Rahm in a press conference noted that it would be nice to have more porta potties out on course. And you quoted it. It was a tweet from Nuclear Golf, to be clear. And you said in all caps, as crazy as it sounds, it's so true. And then you doubled down a few weeks later. You're a big Nuclear Golf fan, clearly. So shout out to them. And they noted the rules changes that were coming. And you said, is it bad that I'm most excited about additional on-course bathrooms? So it's been 2 years, and I haven't heard any update from you about this. So has your life improved in that capacity?
I don't know if they've actually improved the bathrooms out there or not.
So they lied.
It might. The problem is golf, like we can't time when we have to go pee or whatever on the golf course, and we'll play certain events and there won't be a bathroom for like 4 holes. And obviously it's really difficult logistically from tournament to tournament. Like trying to make it happen on every hole is kind of hard, depending if there's like a what do you call, like a side road or forget the name of the road, but yeah, I mean, it's just it's something that's true among a lot of players, but I guess me and John Rahm are the only ones that have gone publicly about it.
Yeah, I mean, you don't get like a halftime, you don't get a traditional turn the way, normal golfers would. So, and every course is different. And sometimes, like you're coming off a certain moment or a certain hole, different adrenaline rush, maybe a creatine rush, who knows? And when you see one, it doesn't line up with your own personal time. So I appreciate, you shining light on the everyman problems. You know what I mean? That's what this really was.
Yeah, you got to get the creatine out sometimes if you take too much. So it's important to have bathrooms.
That's the natural process of life. I have some questions about 2026, right. but I want to start here seriously with why you're here. You're here on behalf of Tito's Vodka, Tito's Shorties Classic specifically. Nice pitch and putt charity situation you had going on with some of the world's most famous golfers as well.
Yeah, such a fun event. Was really excited to kind of add that to the schedule. I've become friends with Keith Mitchell out there on tour and used to live in Sea Island where he was. And he used to always talk about how much fun it was to go play Butler pitch and putt and play in that event, raise money for charity. Basically, it's just a different style than what we're used to out on tour. On tour, it's so, I don't want to say so serious, but you're very locked in. You're not as engaged with the crowd necessarily. And this event's all about kind of bringing community together. Bringing a bunch of people out and kind of being interactive, and it's a fun environment because it's competitive because we're all competing to raise money for each and everyone's charities of choice. But you always you also have that crowd engagement too, and we're on mics and we're talking, and it was such a cool event to play in and so different than what I was ever used to.
That's awesome. It premieres on January 13th on SkratchTV's YouTube channel. Are you a big YouTuber? I know YouTube golf is kind of a taboo subject sometimes, but maybe you're a big YouTube, like my son watches kids play with cars. Like, I don't know, maybe that's your thing. Like, are you a big YouTuber in your own life?
I know it's insane among kids right now.
Right.
And what's crazy is when I was a kid, YouTube was around, but we didn't watch it as much. And I feel like it's way bigger now. But no, I'm not. I'm not a big YouTuber in the fact of like going and watching films. I did recently film a video with Good, so that'll probably come out soon, which is cool. We did a little match together like last week. But no, I'm not. I haven't gotten into YouTube yet. Although I could probably see that happening. Looking out on my horizon a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you've got the personality for it, and obviously the wherewithal and editing chops to kind of dilute it down to a primary point there. We'll be on the lookout for the good situation. Those are always fun. And I think you are fortunate to be in an era right now where you have lots of opportunities to do, whether it's your own venture into YouTube or whether it's with Good or something like this with SkratchTV. Like, I feel like even a decade ago, we were still, as a society, scratching the surface of what these things could offer. Now you can create content or opportunity, something to raise money for charity out of thin air.
Yeah, totally, totally. And the event with Tito's in Austin, and obviously being on YouTube, that'll be really cool to see how much of a following that gets. I think it'll do extremely well, and it's a really cool event, and I encourage everyone to go out there and watch it. But I think it'll get a lot of hype, and I think last year it might have been aired on Golf Channel. I'm really excited to see how it does on YouTube this year.
My last social media question is how much would you say your editing game has improved? Like, I imagine the first TikTok you ever did, it took like an hour to edit, and now you could probably do it in like 20 minutes. Maybe I'm wrong in my estimations there.
Yeah, fortunately, I have a very good wife who's good at editing a lot of this stuff, so I don't have to do a whole lot. But I'd say the first couple of videos we did, it definitely took a little bit longer, and especially those day in the life videos I did on TikTok,
Right.
and I'll do more of those this year. I kind of the end of last year got a little crazy with everything going on, so I time became much more difficult to find. But I think going into this season, I'll be able to do a lot more, especially with the way PGA Tour schedule kind of is a lot more open events, whereas the end of last year, I mean, it's like I went from majors to playoffs to Ryder Cup, and it's just like some of these events, especially the Ryder Cup. I don't want to show too many cameras on what goes on
Right.
behind the scenes because it's such a special moment, to be a part of that team. But yeah, the editing is it's not the easiest, but fortunately on platforms like TikTok, it's really easy to kind of put things together, especially with what I do.
Right.
I kind of make the content. It's not like I have a film crew or anything like that. I mean, it's with a camera on my phone, super easy, and it's almost even more authentic because it's me almost filming a lot of the stuff.
Yeah, I remember several years ago, Pat McAfee, before everything, posted on Snapchat and said, "This is so amazing. I have the power of a television studio in my pocket." Kind of to the overall point. You mentioned you have a wife who's supportive in that regard. Congratulations on the recent marriage, and that was also something you had going on. I don't want to do the thing that you're going to get a lot coming up, which is, man, Ben, last year was crazy. All the wins, the Ryder Cup, the wedding, all awesome things, and God bless y'all, and that was really great. But how do you personally look at this season now? Do you look at it and say, I have to top this, whether it's in any kind of quantitative sense? Like, I mean, last year was so incredible. What is it that you focus on specifically? Maybe it's just be better in your own personal disposition, but I'm curious how you rebound from an amazing season in general.
Yeah, I wouldn't even call it rebound. I'd say just like keep it going.
Right.
Obviously we quantify years based on a calendar, but I like to just let things blend together and just kind of keep going. So every time I have a new event, whether it's a new season or whatnot, I'm just carrying forward what I've learned from previous events and whatnot. And so I'm playing really good golf right now this off season. Played a good amount leading up to the Sony Open next week, and I'd say my game feels better than how it felt all last year already. So I think I'm in a really good place, and I just got to continue to have the drive, continue to have the motivation, and every time I tee it up, just make sure I'm there to try to win. And that's one of the most important things on tour because the way you separate yourself, there's a lot of guys are physically talented, but you got to have the drive and you got to have the mental capacity to make it happen when it comes to Sunday. So yeah, goals for this year. This will be my first year playing the Masters. Most guys, I think, when they play their first Masters, are trying to soak it in. I'm definitely not. I'm trying to go there and win. So I think it'd be really cool to win in my debut. It hasn't happened since Fuzzy Zeller in 1979. So, and he passed away last year. So I'll probably do something on my golf ball or something to remember him while I'm out there and continue to think for me personally, like, hey, you're here to win. And so I'm excited to play, all four majors. This will be the first time I'm playing all four in a season. And so I'm excited to do that. Maybe get the Grand Slam in my first time ever having the chance to. I mean, it's crazy goals, but I just feel like I've gotten my game to a point where I can do it. I just got to continue to let things happen, continue to work hard and put myself in those moments. So some things seem maybe far-fetched, but I've got to have those goals if I'm trying to play on the PGA Tour. And so I'm going to go into the season with pretty high expectations.
This is my last golf one, and then I want to get you out on a fun one. And I laughed, but I fully agree with you. I think I'm not a professional athlete, so I can't quite equate myself to a situation like this. But why be one if those aren't your goals? Like
Totally.
why be there if like it sounds silly and like in a way that you laugh in a casual conversation, but like that would be the goal, to win the Grand Slam, to do it in 1 year, like to win the Masters in your debut. And I think it's very cool when people are obsessed with their craft. There's nothing like seeing why someone is so good at what they do. It's such an inspiring thing, whether it's as a professional golfer or as a musician or an artist, whatever the case may be. And so you want to believe that the people you're fans of care as much as you do about the thing in question, if that makes sense.
Definitely. And one thing I'm friends with a few mini tour players down here in Florida and elsewhere, and have teammates that are trying to grind their way through. And that's one thing I try to remind them if they ever ask me for advice is I ask them, why do you play professional golf? Are you playing to try to like make a little bit of money on the mini tours? Are you trying to get on the Corn Ferry Tour? And when I ask that question, I'm genuinely curious about where their headspace is at, like in professional golf, because if your head is not thinking I'm going to be on the PGA Tour, I'm going to win on the PGA Tour, even when you're on the mini tours, then you're probably doing yourself a disservice and you're not working as hard mentally on being where you need to be a professional golfer and make a living and try to win tournaments. And so that's you got to kind of have these far-fetched goals a little bit, and you got to have that drive, and you got to get out of the mini tour life. You got to get out of the Corn Ferry Tour as fast as possible, and just believe that you are on the PGA Tour before you're even on it. So that's one thing why I think I had a lot of success. And obviously I had the financial support and backing from Lord Abbott and Doug Sig and my whole story. And because of that, I was able to focus on making it to the PGA Tour. That's why I'm here. I need to do this. Like when I first turned professional, it was like, I'm on the mini tours, I'm on the Corn Ferry Tour. Like, this is kind of cool. Like I finally am in the real world. Like this is a cool moment, but I needed to have that mentality of this isn't that cool. I need to get to the PGA Tour where it is actually cool, but also continue to try to win and don't get comfortable and don't think, oh, I made my first $1 million. Like my life is set. Like, no, you got to keep going.
That's a phenomenal disposition. Well done, Ben. So in addition to covering golf, I also cover the NFL and football at large. And I have to imagine that last year was the most you were ever asked about Tar Heel football. And that had to be like super annoying just by like, people on tour or whatever, like people who aren't in the Carolina circle. You probably got rashed pretty good in some text message threads.
Absolutely. It was entertaining at first. It got weird for a minute, and then now I think we're back to like, okay, let's see if we can just have a good year next year. And but I honestly I think we're in a good position. Like this is his first year. It's so hard in college sports right now to get a team together, get some camaraderie, and all be on the same mission in 1 year. It kind of takes a little bit of time. That's why Alabama football, I mean, that's why they're good every year. It's like they continue to build the culture, and I feel like we're trying to figure out what our culture is right now. And so we'll see what happens. I'm excited. We're always a basketball school and a golf school now, so I'm following the basketball program pretty hard right now.
My absolute last one. I couldn't confirm whether or not you were a Panthers fan. And so assuming that's the case, I primarily cover the Dallas Cowboys. So first things first, not cool, man. But second things second, what do you think the chances are on Saturday? Because I feel like nobody's given them anything.
Yeah, I'm not that huge of an NFL fan, actually. I do follow the Panthers because a lot of my friends do.
Sure.
But like, I didn't grow up thinking, being a huge Panthers fan. My dad was always,
era, though.
I know we did have the Cam era, but I enjoyed last year following, or a couple years ago following Washington, the Commanders, and following Sam Howell, and now it's fun to follow Drake May. So I like to follow some of the UNC athletes as they go from college to the NFL. So I'm excited to watch Drake May, honestly, more than anyone. But we'll see what happens. You never know in the NFL. I feel like the underdog tends to win more often than not. So we'll see what happens.
Well, you need to get your wife involved in cross collab with Drake May's wife on TikTok. There's a big
they got to bake together.
That's what I'm saying. There's an untapped corner there that you can really kind of own. Ben, thank you so much for the time. Looking forward to this Tito Shorties Classic, again, dropping on January 13th on SkratchTV's YouTube channel. Season starting very soon for you. Health, wealth, and happiness. And yeah, I mean, do the crazy things. Do all of them. Somebody has to. Somebody has to be the first to do it. Why not Ben Griffin?
Let's do it. I'm ready.
Appreciate it, Ben. Thanks for having some fun and going a bunch of different directions. And best of luck this season. Rooting for you always.
Thank you. Hopefully some bathrooms out there.
Yeah.